Hello friends, I am Aditya Bhavane. Today we are going to learn performance characteristics with selection of turbine and some numericals. So during this session you will be able to explain the performance characteristics of hydraulic turbines, operating characteristics, then ISO efficiency curves, advanced selection of hydraulic turbine and two numericals. Let us start one by one. Performance characteristic of hydraulic turbine. So in that first one, main characteristic curves are constant head curves. In this case, head is kept constant and gate wall is been opened and which is maintained constant. So if you see this, it is 1/4. Gate wall is open. This is half. This is full wall is open, means full discharge is been there. From this chart I can conclude this discharge does not depend upon unit speed, that is unit discharge does not depend upon unit speed. Like for Kaplan turbine it is increasing, so I can say as unit speed increases unit discharge will also increase. But in case of Francis turbine, if you see this, it is falling drop wise or slightly it is dropping. Now it is due to the centrifugal action of the fluid which is acted by the scroll casing of Francis turbine. Now next for if you see this unit speed versus overall efficiency, so as unit speed increases efficiency will increase to its maximum and it will drop down. So likewise for other cases also it will increase and it will reach to peak value and then drop down. For Pelton wheel, if you consider the speed ratio, it will be 0.45 where you get maximum efficiency range. Next is operating characteristics or constant speed curve. In this case, head and speed are kept constant and discharge is varied. Now initially we require some discharge quantity to be given to turbine so that it will rotate and the power will be generated. So this is, I can say, overcoming friction loss. And if you see this, as discharge increases efficiency will increase to certain value and then it will again decrease. Similarly, discharge increases, power will continuously go on increasing, but we have limitation on discharge, so ultimately limitation on power produced. Third characteristics are curves, constant efficiency or Michel curve or ISO efficiency curve. Now what the scientists or researchers did, they have performed the various experiments and from that they concluded for particular efficiency there is two different speeds. Let us say for this speed, okay, this is let us say 200 speed and this is 400 speed. So for 200 and 400 speed both have same values of efficiency, okay, that is 0.4 and 0.4, that is 40% and 40%. Likewise they have calculated all other values for various speed and they found that only there is a one peak value, that is maximum value of efficiency. Maximum efficiency when you get only one speed. At other locations you will have two speeds for same efficiency. And if you plot this line, let us say this will be maximum efficiency line. So this curve is called as constant efficiency or ISO efficiency curve. Next is selection of hydraulic turbines. So there are different parameters on which the hydraulic turbines are being selected. Now let us consider first one, specific speed. We know if you consider very high specific speed for very high head, it will not be beneficial, and if you consider very low specific speed for medium range, then also it will not be possible or beneficial. So for very high specific speed is essential where you have very low head and where output is large, because otherwise the rotational speed will be low, which means cost of turbo generator and powerhouse will be high. Second is rotational speed. So rotational speed depends upon the specific speed. Also the rotational speed of an electric generator with which the turbine is to be directly coupled depends upon the frequency and number of pairs. So the value of specific speed adopted should be such that it will be giving synchronous speed to the or of the generator. Next is efficiency. So we must choose a turbine which has maximum overall efficiency. Next is part load operation. So we know if we are selecting a highest efficiency, but what about the part load condition when the load is varying continuously? In that case also, if the turbine is giving maximum output, that turbine will be good. Let us say for varying load we generally prefer Dirac turbine, or for lower capacity we prefer Kaplan turbine for varying head. Next is cavitation. Cavitation will also impact on the reaction type of turbine, where you need to minimize the effect of cavitation. Again in that case Kaplan turbine specially preferred, or bulb type turbine. Next is disposition of the turbine shaft. So we know this position of the shaft. Vertical shafts are most widely used or universally used, and for very high head generally we use horizontal shaft. What it means, vertical shaft for all the things, Pelton, Kaplan, Francis turbines, and only for Pelton turbine with very high head we use horizontal mounting shafts. Next is head. Head available, we know for very high head we use Pelton turbine, that is above 350 meter, and then medium head 60 to 150 meter we use Pelton or Francis turbine. Then medium head 60 to 150 meter, in that case we use Francis turbine, and below 60 meter we use Kaplan turbine, or let us say very low head, in that case we use bulb turbine. Let us learn a numerical. So it is asking SPW recent paper. So the Pelton turbine running at 720 rpm uses 300 kg of water per second. So it is mentioned that speed and mass of water per second. So mass flow rate is given. If the head available is 425 meter, h is given, that is height of the turbine from the dam. The bucket deflection, jet through 165 degree. What it means? The angle of deflection is given as 165 degree. Determine the hydraulic efficiency. Also find the diameter of the runner and jet. So we need to find out hydraulic efficiency and diameter of jet and runner. So for that case they are also mentioned CV 0.97 and the velocity of bucket is 0.46 times the jet speed. So U equal to 0.46 times jet speed, that is V. And blade velocity coefficient is 0.9, so that is VR2. How will you find out hydraulic efficiency? Equal to, can say output power by input power. Output power is nothing but, that is shaft power. In this case shaft power is not mentioned, which means we need to consider rotational energy. Rotational energy is nothing but m dot Vw1 plus or minus Vw2 into U divided by input energy is kinetic energy, half mv square. So let us understand this. So at the inlet we know there is a straight line for Pelton turbine, that is V1 equal to Vw1. Okay, V1 equal to Vw1, and U1 will be blade speed, and VR1 equal to V1 minus U1. And at outlet I can say this is angle of deflection. So this phi is nothing but 15 degree, 180 minus 165, which will be equal to 15 degree, that is given. Okay, VR2 is equal to 0.9 times VR1, that is mentioned, and U equal to 0.46 times V1, that we know. So we have the formula that V1 equal to CV under root of 2GH. If you substitute the value, you will get as V1 88.98 meter per second. So we also know that V1 equal to VW1, and there is a relation between U and V as U equal to 0.46 times V1. So U1 equal to, or U equal to 40.75 meter per second. Now we have V1 and U. We can find out VR1 as V1 minus U. What I get? 47.83 meter per second. So if you get VR1 at inlet, you can correlate VR1 with respect to VR2, since the friction factor is mentioned as 0.9. So VR2 equal to 0.9 times VR1. So we get 43.047 meter per second. Now from outlet velocity triangle parameter, we have VR2 phi. What we don't know here, VW2. So how will you find out VW2? We have cos phi equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. So cos phi equal to VW2 plus U2 by VR. So VW2 equal to VR2 cos phi minus U. Okay, so VR2 equal to this 43.07 cos of 15 minus U, that is U2 is nothing but U1. We know for Pelton turbine U1 equal to U2 equal to U. So what I get, VW2 equal to 0.8302 meter per second. So hydraulic efficiency equal to m dot in bracket VW1 plus VW2 into U divided by input energy half m V1 square. So mass will get cancelled. So what remains, 2 in bracket VW1 plus VW2 into U divided by V1 square. So I get, if I substitute the values, hydraulic efficiency as 92.87%. So we will get 1 mark for this. We know also U equal to pi dn by 60. From this, diameter of bucket can be find out as 1.0809 meter. And we know mass flow rate equal to rho AV, which is equal to rho into Q. So Q equal to mass by density. Mass is 300 divided by 1000, so 0.3 meter cube per second. And discharge equal to pi by 4 into d square into V1. So I can say Q equal to 0.3 pi by 4 d square into 88.98. So I get d equal to 0.0655 meter. So I get 1 mark more. Study next numerical. A Pelton turbine develops 300 kilowatt under the head of 300 meter. The overall efficiency of the turbine is 83% if the speed ratio is 0.46, CV is given as 0.98 and specific speed as 16.5 meter. Of the jet we need to find out. In this case, power is given, head is given, overall efficiency 83%, KU equal to 0.46 and CV equal to 0.98. So we know if we are given specific speed, specific formula equal to n under root of p by h raised to 5 by 4. So from this we can find out value of n equal to 376 rpm, and we know formula for v1 is equal to cv into under root of 2gh equal to 75.1 meter per second. Similarly for u equal to ku into under root of 2gh, if I substitute the value I get 34.95 meter per second. And next we also know blade speed equal to pi dn by 60. From that I can get diameter of bucket diameter as 1.78 meter. Next, overall efficiency equal to shaft power by rho GQS, since shaft power is given as 3000 kilowatt. So can Q equal to 3000 kilowatt. So into 10 raised to 3 divided by the values. So I get 1.23 meter cube per second. So discharge equal to, I know area into velocity, area pi by 4 into d square into V1, that is for Pelton wheel. Diameter equal to, I get 142 meter. So at the end of this course you will be able to explain the performance characteristic and selection of turbine and numericals. Thank you.